work this way on my phone, but not on my computer. Not today. The computer decided no bueno. So hope everyone can hop back on and we can have a wonderful time together. I'll give it a minute because it's really late getting started and I so apologize. So strange why my computer didn't want to go live. It just spun in a circle. So for those of you watching the replay, welcome. This is our Mandala Universes, and we gather every single day at 8 a.m. Today we're a little late, so we'll be not a 30-minute, but normally we get together for 30 minutes. And we just check in with each other, kind of taking a self-assessment where we are right now. And then we do a grounding, a meditation, a reading, and then we draw mandalas. And it's a loose description of what that is. They're all really different, depending on the inner landscape of how you're feeling that day. So I am glad you're here. Sit tight. I guarantee you'll leave more calm than you arrived. Arove. I'm making up new words. I think I like arove. Arove. I think that really actually fits. But we put an ED instead. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Miss M. She goes, yay. I go, yep, I got rid of the computer and went to the phone. If somebody with a gear could please limit who can get in, because on the phone I didn't get that prompt. That would be really appreciated. Nicolina says, there you are, with sound and everything. And Laura says, you made it. Yep, I had to get resourceful. I tried 2 or 3 times on the computer. The phone is working. Thank you, Nicolina, for being on it and fixing this subscriber. Hello, Elaine. Aloha. I've been thinking about you lately. I think I need to reach out and drive down to San Diego area. Well, let's see. I need to calm myself down a little. That was a lot of IT help desk work early in the morning. Yeah, Miss Sum says, I love how we make it work. And I knew that if it was another minute or two, somebody would just jump on and lead so that we could get together, because that is one thing that doesn't happen, is that we don't get together. We always get together. Carol says, hi, now I can see you. Yeah, it was strange. I got the circle like it's going to go live, but the circle went for like a minute. So, okay. Let that just go. How are you today? We are preparing for another big storm. And it's not supposed to rain till tomorrow, but it looks luminous out there. I am waking up much better today than I have in the past couple days. I am realizing that while I'm very excited to go on my trip to Antarctica, I have a lot of nerves around it. It's very remote. I'm nervous about the Drake's Passage. And you know what? It's so silly, because if I get motion sickness, I get motion sickness. Like, it's not the end of the world. I mean, you feel like crap when you have it, but then it's done. Like, I don't know what this is. My little old mind is very strong. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. And it can get down on a path, and it's really hard to pull it back and go, come on, you can chill out. Good morning, Cheryl. Cheryl is here. So I'm checking in feeling better today. I have had the help of some medication, but that's okay. Whatever it takes, right? And Miss M says, wow, it took a while to let me post. Isn't that interesting that you can't see the chat bar right away? Yeah, it is interesting. So exciting news is from this location right here, next Tuesday, will be somebody else leading, because Amy and Marshall are going to be house sitting and taking care of Kirby while we're gone. So she could lead right from this same spot, and you'll see that in the background, only it'll be a whole different person. I'm very, very excited to have them come to our home. I hope the weather will be nice so they can get the beachy, warm winter vibe. Michelina says, I'm checking in jumbled. Extra energy needs an outlet. Yeah, extra energy needs an outlet. Carol says, friends went in January. They loved it, and Drake's Passage was kind to them. Wish the same for you. Thank you. And Cheryl, I'm going to comment, Carol, on that. I was doing a meditation yesterday. I don't even know but anyway, I was doing a meditation. And I had this image of Scott and I standing on the deck of the ship that we're on and looking at this magnificent view. And I looked at him and I started crying. It's so beautiful. So that's what I'm going to put out there. That's my vision. Cheryl says, friends just traveled to Antarctica. It looked like an amazing trip. Michelina says, oh, that is so fun. Love the real life connections of this circle. Yeah. Cheryl says, fun. Yay for Kirby. I know. He's going to be in for a treat. Kirby, who I now realize probably needs human touch or connection. Probably 12 hours a day. He won't do that right away with new people. But I'm sure if Marshall sits down on the sofa, it will take about 3 days, and then Kirby will be on his lap, because that's what Kirby does with Scott. So I think that's what's going to happen. Amy says, feeling tired and at ease today. Okay, let's do a quick meditation, and I want to share something. Because we need to draw. Some of you probably already started. So let's just close our eyes, find our body wherever it is, and relax it 10 more %. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, you relax it a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out, relax it a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out, relax it a little bit more. Connecting to this present moment. The only moment we have is this one right here and now. Feeling blessed that in this present moment, we are with people we truly, deeply care about. That our heart feels full at this very moment. That we feel so right with the world in this very moment. That we are right where we want to be in this very moment. And that when we decide to leave this very moment, we can remember this very moment. Whenever we need to feel calm, loved, supported, nurtured. And on the next breath, opening your eyes and beginning to draw. That was a quick one, huh? Beginning to draw, meaning our mandala starts with an in-breath, ends with an out-breath. In and out many times or one time. Filling it with whatever looks enticing today. Not trying to create anything. And while you're doing that, I want to share an amazing experience that I had. I got to spend 45 minutes listening to Sark. If you recall, I think I brought her book out. This book here, Succulent Wild Women, and I know she's done some others. She was on this art thingy that I'm in for 10 days. It's for free. And she talked to us. She's 71 years old. She has the energy of a child and mature adult or wise woman at the same time. And I just want to share some things that she said. She said that sometimes when things aren't going well, she will put her hands right here and she says, miracle, find me now. And she waits. Miracle, find me now. I love that. She said that in her early days when she didn't have a lot of money, she living in the magic cottage, she calls it. She didn't have enough money to pay rent. And she said, miracle, find me now. And she did that. And she just opened herself up. And she said, I have lots of crazy stories to explain or not to explain, but to demonstrate this. She went outside and she found a $100 bill in the leaves in the gutter. And then a wind came up. Anyway, at the end of it, $500 showed up. And her rent was $600. So she had enough money to pay rent. That doesn't even sound like a true story, but she's telling it. So I know it's a true story. And it just makes me think of magic is everywhere. We just open our palms to receive it. So I love that she shared. And then another thing she shared is that she writes like her journal is a letter to herself from her inner wise self every day. And it could be really short. But she writes that every day. So she had us take 3 minutes. She says, no more than 3 minutes. Dear Pamela, this is your wise self. And just start writing and see what happens. More than likely, it'll be related to something current in your life, but your wise woman self will appear and start talking to you. I love that practice. So I did that when we were in this gathering. It was kind of cool what I wrote. It was very cool. It's personal, so I'm not going to read it, but it was really cool. And then the third thing I wanted to share that I took away from this is she talked about the inner critic. And as an artist or a creative, we have this inner critic. And that inner critic can really paralyze us from moving forward. And so she said, don't get rid of them. Don't get rid of the inner critic. They are our protectors. But what I want you to do is write an inner critic statement. And so she's had us take a moment and write an inner critic statement. So I wrote mine. And then she says, now I want you to write another statement to that inner critic statement that starts with actually. And oh my God, it was so freaking powerful. Oh, I wrote my statement and it was like, well, actually, and I mean, right there, look at my body language. Well, actually, I become like, as apes would, we puff up and we're related to them. So we get bigger, stronger, right? Our presence. And then I saw the inner critic statement from a whole different angle. So those are my little shares today from a wonderful session. Just being able to see her talk, feel her energy coming through the computer is amazing. All right, you guys have been talking and I'm just yakking away here. Oh, Cheryl, you're not feeling good. I have to go back. Oh, Cheryl, first day waking without a fever. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am glad you are on the mend. Amy says, Kirby's like Zoe then, needs humans, not other animals, and a lot of their favorite. That is so true. He does not care about other animals, but he wants humans. So that's great. You guys will love that, which I knew you would anyway. Michelina says, oh, Cheryl, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're feeling better. Carol says, Cheryl, glad you are feeling better. Laura is sending you continued healing, Cheryl. Amy is sending you relief. Carol says, when do I leave? Next week at this time, I'll be driving to LAX. The plane leaves at 10:30 in the morning. Yesterday, we did the first round, or I did, first round of packing. It all fits in the suitcase minus a couple things, but I have a backpack. I haven't weighed it yet though. I'm worried it's overweight, which means then it's going to have to be checked because you just have to bring a lot of stuff. The temperature, we found a weather thing and it's going to be in the teens. I said that yesterday. So having multiple layers, I have a max of 4 layers that I can wear. But you know, like the pants they're puffy like ski pants. So it just takes up space. Anyway, it's coming together. And then Miss M says, Sark. Carol says, Sark, love her. Amy says, my college roommate loved Sark, and we had her words around our dorm room. Oh, nice nostalgia. Miss M says, healing through the new year, Cheryl. Michelina says, gotta run, y'all. Louis is squeaking to go out again. Opioids messing with his tummy. Right, well, I'm sure you left long before because I was yakking. Maybe you'll be back. Maybe not. Poor Louis. Laura says, my hubby and I have been enjoying the 12-13 wishes ritual. Nice. Yeah, I have too. I created this, I guess I'm going to call it an altar. And I got greens and roses that were really cheap. Now I know, look for the reduced price because they were $4 for 12 roses. And then I picked some red flowers from around here. And I put it outside so it doesn't have heat or dryness. And with the rain that we had last week, they're still thriving and they're all cut just lying in a circle on a table. So I go out there every night to burn and release my wishes. Miss Sim says, I'm finally home. My sanctuary is cold and you all are warming me. I'm glad you're home in your sanctuary. Oh, Cheryl met her at Tassajara years ago, a brightest spirit. Wow, that's so cool. Okay, I have one other really big piece of news. I have not drawn a thing. I haven't even put the date down. Look at that. You know, usually I'm quiet. I'm very talkative today. So when I was in the Redwoods in November, I was researching the California Naturalist Program, and they have one for Sonoma County, which would be the ocean and the Redwoods. And while I was up there, I met with Letitia, and I said, oh, I looked into this. It's so cool, but it's full. She goes, see if you can be on the wait list. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So I sent an email and said, do you have a wait list? And they said, yeah, we'll put you on the wait list. And last night I got an email and there's a spot opened up and I am going to be on that program. It's 50 hours of training. It's hybrid, so I have to go up there 3 times between February and April. And I will be a certified California naturalist, which means that when I go up to that area to hang out, I can do volunteer work. I don't know if I can do any volunteer work down here. But I'm so excited about doing that. I've had the love for the Redwoods since I was 15, being exposed to them since I could walk. So it's a pretty cool thing. Pretty cool. Okay, December 30th. It's the day before New Year's Eve. You all got real quiet. That means you're focusing on creation, which is lovely. Miss M says, miracle, find me now. I never thought to be so direct. Yeah, right? and to be open to it may not be what you thought. The miracle that shows up may not be as, like that example she gave was pretty specific. May show up differently. That reminds me of a story. I was wanting to be an entrepreneur and go out on my own. And I had this vision that I was going to be a coach. I was going to have a coaching practice. People were going to come to me. I might even have an office, because back then I don't think we did much online. And I got an offer to be a consultant in a company. There'd be coaching, but I would be going to that business. And I almost said no, because my dream was they'd come to me. And then I think the night before I had to make a decision. And I was really leaning on no. Like I was telling people, no, I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn it down, turn it down. Then that night, it's like, nope, take it. And I ended up with 14 people that I was coaching. But it didn't look like exactly how I imagined it. So I created a coaching practice, but it was a little different. And I wonder, if we have a lot of these miracles happening, we don't realize. I mean, they can be super simple, right? I mean, they can be super simple. Finding that perfect lemon for my recipe, or in the back of the cupboard is a can of something that I didn't know I had that was what I needed to make something. Or getting a phone call. Uh-oh. We have an intruder. Did anyone have any words with your mandala today? Thank you, Amy. I do not, but I also started very late. I'm loving these new colors. Oh, thank you, Laura. It's time to say, see you later till the next time. I'm wishing you all a day filled with miracles. Give yourself a hug. And I'll be in the ethers with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.